Well, I was
Why was it so easy? Why was it so hard?
I don't know. It just caught me off. Like, what the fuck? How do I answer that?
I don't know what I like
It's
about
like,
my
dude,
wife.
I don't watch her YouTube shit. Like, I don't know all those little details. That's her stuff.
Wow, babes. Wow.
Wow, babe.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a special guest. If you follow me on Instagram, you guys pretty much know who he is. This is my husband, Anthony.
Hello.
And a lot of people have had a lot of questions because of what I started to share exactly a year ago yesterday. So if you didn't know, we got very, very sick with COVID last year, and that's when my makeup page became less about makeup and more about what I was going through. I just opened up to everybody. So today, I wanted to do a Q&A with him. I also wanted to introduce him to you guys. So we have some questions. So thank you very much to everybody that sent questions to us. I was a little nervous that like nobody would care, but I got a lot of questions. There's some pretty raw questions, some fun questions. So we'll go over all of that. So if you're into that and you want to get to know a little bit more about Anthony, then keep watching. All right. So again, this is my husband. Thank you for clicking on the video. Today, we're going to ask him some questions, put him in the hot seat, and we're just going to go through it. I really don't know what I'm doing. Usually when I'm filming makeup, I have an idea of what I want to say and what I want to do, but having this X variable or X factor here is a little nerve-wracking because I don't know what's going to come out of his mouth, but are you nervous?
No.
What are you drinking?
My whiskey.
Okay, I'm drinking red wine. We're nervous, which is why we're drinking at freaking 1 o'clock on a Sunday, okay? Not that I don't drink at 1 o'clock on a Sunday, but I'm a little nervous today. So I asked on my community tab, and then I also asked on my Instagram stories, and you guys had some questions. So we are gonna answer as many as we can. There actually was a lot of questions, and so we will do as much as we can. We have to be gone by 2:30 to a soccer game, but if you guys want a part 2, let us know. Okay, so I think I'll start with the questions on my community tab since we're on YouTube, and then we'll go into the ones we got on Instagram. So I'll start with something that kind of shapes the narrative, if that's okay. Question number 1. Let's see if you remember. I'll ask you the question and you just answer it, okay? Okay, I hope you remember exactly how we met, but how did we meet?
In high school.
In high school?
Yep.
How did we meet?
She came up to me. Yeah, she did. It was a friend of ours. Her name was Lisa, and just went from there. Lisa came up to me.
I was going to say, I didn't come up to you.
Lisa came up to me. She said, "What do you think about my friend?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, she's pretty." And that's pretty much where it all started.
And that's all she wrote.
Yep, all she wrote.
Okay, she wants to know, do we both speak fluent Spanish?
Más o menos.
Not at all. Not at all, bro. You don't speak Spanish.
Yo entiendo más o menos.
¿Entiendes más o menos?
Entiendes más o menos.
¿Cuánto entiendes? ¿Cómo hablas?
Pero chinga todo.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So no, we are not both fluent in Spanish. Actually, he did not know a single word of Spanish. Maybe just like the cuss words. But when I met him, we were born in the US, my sister and I, but we're first generation born here. My parents taught us Spanish first. That's our first language. And honestly, the Spanish he knows today is just Spanish that he learned from my mom, actually. She's the one that taught him a lot of the Spanish that he knows. So we're not fluent, but he understands most of it. Our children, that's our bad, my bad, completely.
Our oldest son does.
He does, but he speaks it funny.
He does, but he knows more or less.
I guess.
Andrew, no.
But he's not fluent, babe.
He's not fluent. No.
Yeah, so he doesn't speak very well Spanish. He speaks it a little funny. Also learned it from my mom. Being young parents, being together since very early in life, you know, we were 15 and 16 when we met. We were busy working and trying to provide for this new baby we had. So we kind of just defaulted to what was easy. So that's kind of our bad. None of our kids really speak fluent Spanish and they want to learn. So we try to give little words here and there, but we're kind of failing in that area. Okay, the next question is, can you explain what happened to Anthony? Give a timeline. Okay, so I'll just quickly go through it because you were asleep. He was in a coma. So we got sick October of last year. Within 5 days, we were extremely sick with extremely high fevers. My sister was here, Eileen. My older sister, Denise, flew in from California to take care of us because it got very serious very fast. Within 9 days, so on the 22nd of October, 21st of October, we had to rush Anthony to the hospital, and within 12 hours, 6 hours, he was being intubated, and then we didn't see him again. He didn't wake up again until March, or January, I'm sorry, the beginning of January. So we got very, very sick. He was rushed to the hospital. At the hospital in the ICU, they airlifted him to another hospital that had an ECMO department or division area in the ICU. Because they saw how sick he was and how quickly it could go badly if they didn't do something. And so he was in the ICU from October 21st until the end of January. He was sedated or in a medical induced coma until the beginning of January, from October 22nd until the beginning of January, and was in the hospital for a total of 9 months. He did come home for a couple weeks here and there, but a total of 9 months. So initially sick with COVID, but what has caused all the issues and why it was so prolonged was the actual hospital stay. So he developed a really nasty bed sore. Pretty much, like, the way he explains it is perfect, but it's the size of a tortilla. And it was so deep that at one point the nurse could kind of fit her fist into his back. That's how decomposed the flesh was. I know this is a little crazy, but that's what we went through. And when that happened, his spine was exposed and he got a really nasty spinal infection. And that's kind of what caused all of the other issues that we're dealing with today. So in a nutshell, that's what happened to him. And it was COVID. And before you guys ask, because nobody asked, but I've shared this before, we were not vaccinated. We had actually decided to get vaccinated, but by that point we were sick already. So that's what happened. Okay, the next question is, Anthony, this past year, what have you learned the most?
What have I learned the most? I would say to cherish life as while you're here. Sometimes we take life for granted. We get so caught up on our daily routines, work, kids, etc. But we never sit and really think about how precious everything is and how it can be taken away in an instant, a blink of an eye. I honestly didn't think I was going to get that deep into that rabbit hole. So when I woke up and I saw my wife and my kids again, it was a blessing. So I definitely learned not to take anything for granted. Your wife, your kids, family, whatever you have going on, because it could be gone within an instant. So I learned just to cherish life as it is. All the good, all the bad, everything.
Okay, and I will just say this, because everybody says that, you guys, but I don't think we truly understand it. And I'll be honest, even since he's been back, even though we've been through all this craziness and almost lost him, life gets busy. And sometimes, for me, I'll come home at the end of the day, I'm talked out, or I'm editing and filming on the weekends and whatever. And sometimes we forget, hey, I literally laid in this bed, bawling my eyes out, thinking my husband was going to die. And he's here. So turn off the phone, turn off the laptop, whatever, watch a movie with him, talk to him for a little bit. And we still have to remind ourselves of that every single day. So even though it was a crazy experience, you still have to constantly be intentional about that, because I promise you, when something bad happens, nothing that you spent your time on except that person matters. Nothing matters. So that's the one thing that I know I learned. So I know the question was for you. Okay, next. Oh, this is a good one. What are your hopes for the next year?
For me or for you? For us?
I mean, in general, just what are your hopes for the next year? Just family, work, whatever.
Yeah, to be more. I'm trying to be 100%. Internally and physically. Obviously, I may seem okay and everything, but I struggle through a lot of pain and discomfort, whether I'm sitting, walking, laying down. It's kind of affected me in a way mentally, but I fight it every day. So I'm hoping one day I can get strong enough to overcome all my physical problems that I have. So I'm hoping by next year I'll be back where I was at from before I got sick.
Physically?
Physically.
Yeah.
Yep.
My hope for the next year, I don't know. I'm just happy to be here today. I love my job. I love my family. We are not where I would say we need to be at this stage of our life when it comes to possessions or, you know, things that we've built for ourselves, but we're at a really great place. So for me, like I am kind of living through him actually. Like he has some plans professionally and he's got some things he wants to do. And so like that's kind of what my hope is for the next year is like just kind of support him in that, see what he's up to. I mean, at some point we'll share, but everything is now more exciting. Like we almost didn't get this chance. So for me, I don't really, I haven't thought into what my hopes are for the next year. This is a good one. This was on Instagram. What are y'all's favorite simple joys currently? Like what are some things that we enjoy right now since life is still a little different?
Simple joys. You want to go first?
I would say simple joys, honestly, like for a long time, even when he came home, he was pretty much bedridden. So just kind of watching a new Netflix special or cooking, like that's something that he always enjoyed before he got sick. And now that he's a little more mobile, he doesn't require a walker or anything. He tries to cook at least 4, sometimes 5 times a week. So that's kind of crazy, but he loves doing that, so he'll do that. And, you know, honestly, life is very, very slowed down. It's very simple right now. We don't go out a lot on the weekends. What are the one thing we look forward to is soccer because the kids play soccer, so we go to their soccer games. And even that's a blessing because he gets to walk onto the field. And so, yeah, that's what we're doing right now. Like life is very, very simple right now.
And that's one of the joys for me is that I'm able to get up now and go and do those things with my family, which for a while I wasn't. And it's still a struggle to get up, but it's not as bad as it was. But hey, at least I'm alive and I can enjoy being with the family and doing those things. Yeah.
Okay, the next question is, where are you guys from? We're from California. I was born in downtown LA, and then we moved up north to an area called the Antelope Valley, so Palmdale, Lancaster. And then he is from, where were you born?
LA.
LA.
They went to the Valley, then Palmdale, Lancaster. That's where we met.
Everybody that lives there talks so much shit about how small it is and how there's nothing to do, but like, you know, that's where we're from and that's where we met. That's where our friends are. So the next question is, when are y'all coming back to Cali?
Oh, man. That's a tough one. I love Cali, but I also love living in Texas. You know, it's got its perks being out here. But I do miss Cali for sure. The weather, beautiful weather, family, friends out there. I don't know. We've talked about it, but I don't know. It's still up for grabs. But as far as business opportunities and things going on out here, and just other things that's going on, we kind of like it out here too. So it's one of those things we talk about, but we haven't came to an agreement on yet. So we'll see. Anything's possible. Who knows?
Yeah. We missed it a lot. It was so horrible. We were so homesick. Is that how you say it? Homesick?
Yeah, homesick. That's our home. That was our home.
Okay, yeah, we were so homesick at the beginning, but like our time in Texas hasn't been that easy. So like the first 6 weeks we were here, we were kind of getting excited, and then everything shut down due to COVID. And then we were just kind of stuck at home. We didn't explore much. Then a year and a half later is when we got sick. And so this last year has been kind of crazy. I mean, I at one point thought, like, if he dies, I'm going back to California. You know, it sounds morbid, but that's literally what I thought. Now, I don't know. Like, things are going so well at work, and we still haven't explored. And we have a junior. Is he a junior? Yeah, we have a junior in high school, and then we have a middle schooler. So by the time he's done with school, the next one will be in high school. So I don't know. For now, we're just kind of just seeing where things go and keeping things a little stable. Okay, this one's about YouTube. Somebody asked, do you mind that I do YouTube, and do you mind all my makeup?
Yes and no, I guess. Obviously, the people that do YouTube, it takes a lot of time and it consumes a lot of your time. So because of that, it can take away some maybe family time or work time. They can distract you a little bit. But if you can learn to balance, which Yadira has been doing a good job of finding that balance, um, it can work, you know. And it doesn't get to me as much as it used to, I guess. But hey, and there's a good community on YouTube, and she's met so many great people. Honestly, one of the people that she met on YouTube helped save my life. If it wasn't for that person, I would have never got that referral from that doctor that took me in because no other hospital would take me in. So I'm very grateful for that, and it did change my perspective on certain things. And you know, this is what she's happy doing. This is a great passion of hers. So you know, I do my best to support her in doing that. So
when I started YouTube, that's what it was. Everybody was stuck at home, and I was able to connect with a lot of people. And this person wasn't even on YouTube when I connected with her. I think we were on Vicky J's channel, and somehow we found out that we were both from Cali, living in Dallas. And so we just connected and started talking, and she now has a channel. The channel is Heavy on the Chai. I'll link it down below. But we became really good friends, and actually Dr. Ashton, her makeup and Chai were with us the weekend before we got sick. So we were really grateful that they didn't get sick, but it was during a time where it was really busy. Hospitals were overwhelmed. And so what happened is that we went to the ER twice, and both times they sent us home. And they actually took a little bit better care of me than they did him. But towards the end, Chai kept checking in on us. And she worked in the medical industry or in the medical field. And so she happened to call. Like, it was just like her intuition, like something's up, like they're getting really sick really fast. And so she called, and I couldn't speak to her because I was so sick and my lungs were so weak. And like, she wouldn't stop texting, she wouldn't stop calling. And so my sister answered the phone, and she told my sister, she said, I really feel like if Anthony doesn't go to the hospital, he's gonna die. And so, I don't know, like the words didn't register in my head. And so, she said, if I tell my friend to call Yadi, will she talk to him? Well, her friend was an ER doctor, or an ICU doctor. And so, he called me, and when he called, he didn't even know me, obviously, but he called with like the same urgency that Chai had. And so he said, listen, I really feel like you need to bring your husband, and if you bring him to my hospital, I will admit him. And so I don't know. I feel like I was just so weak. Like, I couldn't make decisions for myself. So my sister was like, Yadi, I think it's time. Like, he has to go. And so we ended up taking him. And when we got there, Dr. Coco is what I call him. Like, he had set everything up. He had told the doctors that Anthony was coming, and they immediately took him in. And so, like, what we say today is like literally like being on YouTube and meeting and connecting with the people that we did saved my husband's life. So my concealer is gone. So I love YouTube, and you know, it's fun and it's a hobby and whatever, but I just feel like doing that, even though he didn't like it at first, like it was just meant to be. Like, I have built the most amazing community on YouTube, and you know, we're going to California for Christmas, and literally the first person that I texted was Chai. And I just said, hey, we're coming for Christmas. We want to see you, you know? And I know we're going to be like so emotional when we see her, because it was just, I met her through makeup, and then we just became friends, and literally that's the person that, you know, God used to save my husband's life. So anyway, this is why my community is so important to me. And I have struggled coming back, you know, because the last year was hard, and engagement is not what I'd like it to be, and growth is not what I'd like it to be. But to me, like, it's the people that are here today that matter so much, because, you know, it just became about more than just makeup a long time ago. So anyway.
Thank you, Chai. I owe you dinner, girl. I'll make you anything you want.
Oh, you owe her more than that.
Fish tacos. I'm making
I know,
fish tacos.
That's what he made for her the last time that she came to our house. He had made, like, barbecued for her and Ash, and made fish tacos, and you know, they were Cali style fish tacos, so she liked that. But okay, my makeup's ruined. All right. The last question, and actually I want to give a shout out here, because this was the person, I saw her video with her husband, and she kind of inspired me to, like, post that I would do a Q&A with Anthony. So the last question is from Tanya B. Wells, just a lovely, lovely girl here on YouTube. Just beautiful and just so classy. I love her channel. I love her and her husband together. So I'll link her channel down below, and that video if you haven't watched it. I just love her so much. But she asked, because she's been through some trials and hard times when it comes to health with her family, so she kind of gets it. But she asked, having your husband sick, how did it change your family's life in terms of time, income, and physical help, etc.? Time, we didn't have time. I would be up by 5 a.m., get the kids ready, go to school, go to work. On the way home, I would stop at the hospital every single day, and then my sister would have the kids, and then I'd come home, somehow figure out how to make sure that the bills were paid, there was food, and clean laundry. My kids are not younger, they're older, so it was a little easier. They're 12, 16, and 23, but the 12 and 16-year-old are with us, so I didn't have to care for them as much. Family time, I mean, we would kind of look forward on the weekends to going to the hospital to just hang out with my husband, and we would play Uno for hours, order DoorDash. Like, that was kind of our life, you know? In terms of money or finances, it's been not easy, and you guys have seen that on my channel. We're very blessed, so I don't like to complain, but at the same time, we lost 45% of our income when my husband got sick, and he was a contractor, so it's not like he had disability or benefits or anything like that. And so it was very, very quickly that I had to learn to scale everything back. You know, buying the makeup or buying other pricey items and just spending frivolously. And so you haven't seen a lot of, like, a ton of new stuff on my channel. I really can't afford it. And so I do well, and I do okay with some of the stuff that I bring in, but I'm very, very picky about what I buy, because there's other things that need to be taken care of. In terms of help, like added help, I would not have done it. I could not have done it if my sisters weren't here. So my sister, my younger sister, Eileen, she's a year younger. She lives down the street. And then Denise, sometimes you see her in my chats, in my videos. She lives in California. She lives close to Chai, actually. And she, like, no questions asked. She doesn't have young kids either, but she has a 14-year-old. And, like, no questions asked, like, got on a plane with her youngest daughter and just came and just literally lived here for, like, almost 4 months just to help me take care of the kids, and, you know, sometimes go to the hospital when I couldn't, because I was still sick. I was still recovering. She just took care of everything, and so did Eileen. So I've also learned that, I guess I want to say, is, like, you know, we can tell people that we're there for them, but my sisters have taught me how to really be there for somebody. Like, don't ask any questions, show up and do anything that is asked of you. Do anything that you see is needed. And so honestly, like, when it comes to time and help around the house, like it was my sisters that really helped me. My mother-in-law was here a lot as well, which was a little scary because she's immunocompromised, but she was a huge help. So I honestly can't complain. I had so much help. My daughter-in-law, my oldest son, they were always here making sure that my kids were taken care of and the house or anything like that. When it comes to him, like his mobility was pretty bad. Like he still can't walk around and do all the things that he wants to do, but you know, we just kind of go with it.
It was tough, guys. I'm just gonna add to that not only during the time when I was in the hospital, but even the aftercare when I was home, recovering. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything for myself, and it was hard. And I think I've mentioned this before to some people that it's hard as a man when your wife has to, clean you up from using the bathroom, taking you a shower, brushing your teeth, doing all these things that we do for ourselves, and having your partner do that for you. On top of that, working, going to work, maintaining a home, being there with the kids. She's definitely Superwoman. I said it before. She's done it all. And obviously she had a good support system with her sisters and family and friends and you guys. So thank you. Thank you for all that. You just created a better person, a better mother, a better wife. Everyone. I wouldn't be here without her for sure. For sure.
Anyway, I didn't want it to be like super emo, but that's kind of what the questions were. So it's your fault that my mascara is running. My concealer is completely gone.
Yeah, mine too.
And anyway, we're just really, really happy. Okay, we're going to end it here because we have a lot of questions, but I have one more question that I want to share because I think it's really sweet, and then we'll close it out. We have a ton more questions, so if you want us to do a part 2, hopefully not as much of a downer as this one was, but we were answering your questions. So the last question, and this is you, babes. What are your favorite things about each other?
Our favorite things about each other. Let me think.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to keep the camera running so that people know that you have to wait, that you have to think that hard.
Wow. I'm trying to think. Hold on.
Holy shit. It's been 60 seconds.
Well, what about me?
What? I said I'm going to ask you the question first.
Okay. Is that our favorite thing about each other or the things that we like about each other?
Your favorite things about each other.
Okay, favorite things.
I mean, you've had 26 years to figure out what you like about me. Are you kidding me?
I'm trying to think. Let me think. What the heck? I've never done this before, and that's a tough question.
It's not a tough question.
It is a tough question. I mean, because I'm trying to find a good one.
Babe, it could be a couple. There's only one good one. Like, there could be a couple things.
Let's see. I like that you support my ideas, whether they're stupid or they're not.
Okay.
And okay, I like that. I
like your eyes. I like your hair. I like your makeup.
Oh, why's it gotta be apparent? I thought it has to be.
Okay, I'll tell you real quick because clearly he's a little confused or thrown off by the question. So things that I like about my husband, because we've been together for 26 years. I like how mentally strong he is. I like that he always looks at the positive. I like that he is such a great father and a great husband, a great cook. I like that he's funny. I like that he has great skin. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on, and I guess I have to because my husband can't figure out what he likes about me.
So, there's a ton of things I like about her. I'm just trying to find a grand finale, okay? But
nah, that's not. You gotta keep it real, homeboy.
I am keeping it real. Okay, so for one, she's a very strong, independent woman. She don't need a man.
Do you like that?
No, I do. I do. I appreciate that. She's very strong. She's very active mentally. She gets me tired just thinking about all the ideas that she has and all the stuff she wants to do. I'm like, oh my God. She literally wants to take on the world. That's okay. That's great. Those are some of the qualities that I like about her. She's very strong and she's very loving. Sometimes when I have bad days, just like anybody, and I try to hide it, but she knows when I'm bullshitting. She helps encourage me when things aren't always right or don't feel right. If that makes sense. I just appreciate her.
He really does love me. I mean, I'll just say it for him. He is not as wordy or as chatty as I am, but
definitely not.
I got your back, babes.
I'm done. I need a refill.
No refills. We're going to soccer. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much for the questions. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments down below. If you have anything to say to Anthony, leave it in the comments down below. I appreciate you guys so much. I didn't mean to make this video so emotional, but we've been through a lot, okay? Leave us alone. And if you guys want a part 2, we'll do a part 2 and we'll focus on like the lighter questions so you can get to see his personality a little bit more. But thanks, babes, for coming on my channel with me. Do you want to do a makeup and chill with me? Okay, see you guys later. Bye!